Welcome to the Lab Coat Agents podcast. We're doing this one live, though. What's up, Nick?
Live, baby. We've never done an LCA podcast in front of people, so
In front of people.
I'm nervous. We got a great show today. My name is Dick Baldwin. What's your name again, sir?
Tristan Almada.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you,
buddy.
So we love having people on the call. We have a great show. We're excited. But Tristan, I got to talk to you about something that that's interesting that happened in the real estate space this past week, kind of in the mortgage space. Do you want me to talk about it? You want to hear what I have to say?
Yeah, man. Everybody, let us know what city, what state, what country you're from. I know we're all over Portugal, UK, Canada, Mexico, Europe, and then obviously the US. Let us know. All right. What do you got, Nick?
So we're going to talk about AI for a minute because AI is doing some crazy stuff and it's making people freak out. So AI recently underwrote. Is underwrote a word?
Let's go with it.
Okay, we'll go with underwrote. Underwritten? Underwritten?
You know what? I like underwrote. If it doesn't exist, oh well.
Now it does. They underwrote a loan in 47 seconds. ChatGPT underwrote a loan in 47 seconds. Did you hear about this?
No, man. You bring in news I've never heard of.
Dude, where are you living lately?
I'm living in the Wall Street Journal, so I'm seeing more national news or international rather than real estate specific. And I'm trying to relate it, but I
always look for stuff to talk about during the show, like at the beginning when we talk about news. And this was interesting. So, like,
interesting.
A loan was underwritten. There we go. A loan was underwritten by ChatGPT in 47 seconds. It's the Better company. So Better is, I guess, a mortgage lender. They already had an underwriting engine called Tin Man. And the next step was connecting that engine directly to ChatGPT so lenders can interact with it conversationally. So here's what happens. Instead of humans reviewing documents one by one, the AI system, ingests the borrower's data. So loan application, credit report, income documentation, bank statements, employment data. Then it extracts and verifies the information. So AI reads the pay stubs, tax returns, W-2s, and bank statements. And it pulls out income, assets, debts, and payment history. Then it runs automated underwriting checks. So it checks the debt to income ratio, loan to value calculations, credit risk scoring, asset verification. Then we're not done. Matches the loan against investor guidelines. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, major banks. Then it returns a decision. Approve, conditionally approve, or decline. And all of that happens in 47 seconds. You have nothing to say to that? You're speechless?
I think that works right now only for clean files. So the moment...
okay, I got you. So like if it's complicated?
Yeah, the moment that there's like, oh, wait, this is slightly off. What about this? That's where the human comes in, right? Human in the middle. Interesting. Here's what I think. I think the loan side of things and the real estate side of things on the paperwork side is overly complicated. So something like this is definitely going to help the industry move faster. I love this, man. But
and I was at an event. I was at a seminar yesterday, and the loan officer there was talking about this. And it's not to get rid of the loan officer because the loan officer still needed. Because you know how long underwriting takes, dude.
Dude, it takes too long.
Yeah. I mean, how long are you waiting, right, for that?
Too long, dude. Too long. The loan is a very complicated process that shouldn't be.
No. So I think it'll only get perfected, but it's super interesting that this is something that that they're doing now. We talked about on the last episode how the guy from Florida sold his home by himself using ChatGPT, and sold it with 5 offers in 72 hours. So, listen, there's always going to be people that use AI to leverage, whatever they can and save money. But I feel like this is a little bit different because this is huge leverage for the mortgage industry. Because you could literally get an answer within a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not your client is approved, which I think
Yeah.
is a huge help. And if you're watching, because we're live, drop in the chat what you guys think about this. We'd love to hear.
Well, I think here, I'll leave you with this and then we'll jump into our amazing guests. I think when you compare mortgage loan officers to real estate agents, licensed real estate agents, we've got like slightly over 2 million, not realtors, right? But licensed real estate agents. And then I think you've got like somewhere around 600,000 only MLOs, which is a massive difference, right? To me, that number is going to drop even more because the broken piece of our industry has a lot to do with the loan process. One's banks, because banks own a lot of this big process, and corporations. Rocket, right, is one of them. Once they figure out the AI piece to remove all of the steps in the middle, it simplifies it for us. And obviously, less real estate agents in the future as well. So,
yep. There you go. So anyway, let's bring on our guest. You guys have been waiting for the major guest we have today. So let's bring him on. His name is Phil M. Jones. Thanks for being here, Phil. I got a little intro for you. I hope it's good. I hope it flatters you. So today's guest is someone who has spent his career studying something every real estate agent uses every single day, but rarely thinks about. It's the power of the words that we choose. He's a globally recognized sales expert, keynote speaker, and the best-selling author of Exactly What to Say, a book that's helped millions of professionals communicate more effectively, build trust faster, and guide better decisions. And I saw you speak at Family Reunion, KW. That's how I got to know who you were, and it was great. And I know you've been working very closely with KW ever since then, which is awesome too. So thanks for being here, Phil. We appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me as part of the conversation.
Love it. What's your take on what we just discussed in terms of, this AI leverage, people selling their houses through AI or loans being processed?
The world is changing. What we're dealing with, without question, is the fact that technology is going to be able to take away any version of a repetitive task or where a quantity of data needs to be analyzed in a short period of time to be able to create some form of pattern. And what most AI tools are they are pattern recognition tools, right? So if you take, for example, what you've mentioned here with a loan approval point of view, it's like, this is the data in, this is our data set that says yay or nay. If we can lay that over the top of that remarkably quickly and give a yes, no without a human needing to get involved, saving people time, saving money, it's happening.
Yeah,
are there always
totally.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
And it means more than ever, particularly whether you're a loan originator or whether you're a real estate agent, is if you're only trying to add value at that point of the transaction or at that point of the relationship, you're already too late. We have to get further upstream. We have to get further back in the conversation, that before somebody is running a pre-approval, before somebody wants to go and see a house, before somebody wants a CMA, before somebody is thinking about what is your unique listing formula, you have to get to them while they're in the messy middle. And this is the change that I'm pushing real estate agents for across the board. Is the last decade has been focused on find people who are 30, 60, 90 days away from making a move and tell them how your dad's better than their dad and that you should be able to help them achieve the outcome. If you want to win today and you want to win long term, we don't need to be thinking 30, 60, 90 days. We need to be thinking 30, 60, 90 months. Gone are the days of you being a problem solver, being able to stand out in the crowd. Today is the day that you have to be a problem seeker. You have to help find clarity on the problems that exist inside the world of the decision maker that you're currently trying to be able to help, and help them realize the problem they didn't realize existed actually does exist, and that problem is bigger than they thought it were, and that problem now requires a solution called you. That's the gig. And this is exciting for the human part, particularly in this I'm scared of AI world. If people are going to AI to deliver the answer, and then they're bringing that answer to you, you best be the cheapest. You best be the most convenient. You best be the easy button.
What do you?
So you
have an interesting position in this because you work with the real estate world very closely, right? And you also work outside of our world
100%.
very, very well at a high level. So
qualified person on the planet to talk to this. Given where my work is.
Where do you see the real estate agent industry going, specifically agents? What does that look like to you based on where you're at?
I think that what will happen is agent count will significantly reduce. The number of houses will stay somewhere about the same, and the distribution of those transactions will go to those that are good enough to be able to make a difference. I think the growth in the industry is less dependent upon interest rates and market conditions. I think the growth in the industry is dependent upon agent competence. And I'll make this real simple. I sat at this year's family reunion. I see the same statistics that many other agents see. One statistic that I see that blows my mind that people still don't give anywhere near enough attention to is how many houses were sold in North America last year, or how many homes were sold in the US.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4.1 million in 2025. It was 4.1 million in 2024. It was 4.1 million in 2023. So the market has been flat, and we're waiting for the market to improve. What most agents fail to realize is that they drive the market. They're waiting for the market to improve so that they can get more of their share, but they forget that they drive the market. Take Keller Williams alone, 160,000 plus licensed agents. If every one of those agents sold one more home, we'd be looking at that same data sheet and saying 4.25. Look what's happening. The market's picking up. The difference is all the people that are stuck in maybe, possibly, potentially, perhaps. That requires human skill. Last year, how many people sat around a kitchen table, a dining table, went for a walk with their significant other and said, shall we move? And the agent was nowhere near this conversation.
It's true.
But these are the conversations we need to be a part of. And what will happen is many of us, even us in this call included, we all could have made 2 more moves in a lifetime. And we actually probably wanted to. Could have worked out better for us. But we didn't because nobody was there to be able to help us in that maybe decision. And then life got in the way, and then the kids needed something, and then something broke that needed fixing. And we put that on the back burner. And before you know it, 5 years apart. This is the mess that agents need to get into. And the other problem that is then amplified by this very strong reality is there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of real estate agents that are calling people in their database their clients. That if I was to contact that person and say, who is your real estate agent, they would not reciprocate the relationship. They would view the agent as somebody who helped them with their past transaction. They wouldn't think badly of that agent. But there's a big difference between, are you the agent that helped me historically, or are you my agent? That is a massive chasm of a difference. And most agents think they earn the right to be able to be that person's agent just because they helped them once. You do this right. You've had a handyman, a plumber, or a roofer, or somebody that you worked with once that did a decent job. But if somebody said, who's your handyman? You're like, I don't know, whoever's available. And this
Very
is
interesting. All right, Phil, then let me go back to that sentence you told us at the beginning. Agent count will reduce, agent competence is key. What does competence look like in your world for us?
Well, transactional competence now becomes table stakes. The local knowledge, the information, the wisdom that you've had about your local area as a differentiator over the last decade is now no longer a differentiator because everybody has the same data now. Like, I can find out what area I should live in. I can find out what schools are best. I can learn what commute times could be from blank to blank without ever having a conversation with an agent. Information is no longer your differentiator. Insights become your differentiator. And insights are the overlap between information and somebody else's unique circumstances. So the skill set is, can you actually learn what people's unique circumstances are? Many real estate agents today think that they're helping somebody find a 3-bed, 2-bath home in ABC neighborhood over a certain for a certain price point. Nobody wants that. They want something way more important than that, which is a categoric change in what their lifestyle looks like for a given set of reasons. And most agents don't know this about the people they're working with. They think they're looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath home in the ABC neighborhood for XYZ price. They don't know for sure what change that the individual is looking for. And we ask stupid questions like, what is your motivation? And people give a fake answer, and then worse, the agent then believes them. Oh, we're just looking to downsize. No, you're not. There's 1,000 other reasons that live in it. Oh, we just need more space for the kids. Oh, got it. There's your motivation. I can put that in my box. It's not the real reason. It's one of 100 reasons. It's the headline. It's like when somebody asks you how you're doing and you say you're great, but really you're having a terrible time in your life. You just don't have the time to tell them. We just give a surface level answer because it allows us to move on.
Phil, what are the key motivators for people to make decisions like this?
Well, I think the real issue is that we think it should be easy when it is never easy. People think in real estate that you're helping people make one of the most expensive or financial cost-driven decisions that exist in your life. That is partially true and not always true. But what is always true is you're making one of the most emotionally charged decisions that exists in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that has multiple levels of complexity to it. Earlier on, I said that great agents are going to need to be problem seekers, not problem solvers.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be a problem seeker, you have to understand the order that human beings solve problems in. Human beings solve problems in a very specific order, 5 levels of problems. First problems we solve are our immediate problems. After you've solved your immediate problems, you'll solve your urgent problems. After you've solved your urgent problems, you'll then move on to your important problems. After you've solved your important problems, you'll jump to your essential problems. And only then do you work on your aspirational problems. Most people are talking to people about how they can help them solve an aspirational problem. You will not get to even make a dent in an aspirational problem if you have an immediate problem. And we're now living in a world where there are a good number of immediate, urgent, and important problems to solve that are standing in the way of us being able to actually make a move. And let's look at what that plays out like for somebody that maybe is a baby boomer that is sat in a big house.
Mm-hmm.
We know and they know that they should probably list at some point.
Yeah.
Why should they list it today as opposed to in a decade? Doesn't matter, right? Tiny little mortgage, it's paid off. They're living in it. I mean, geez, moving feels like hard work. We have to make a change. We have to make a commitment. Really sure where I want to go at this given point in time. So therefore, if I hold on to the known unknown, I can hang out here for as long as I need to, and I can professionally procrastinate for a decade. The immediate issue is, who do they want to become in this next decade season of their life for many?
Mm-hmm.
And how do they want this new version of self to be able to show up in conflict or comparison to the version of themselves that they're less than satisfied with? See, somebody doesn't want to downsize to move to more space. They realize that they were potentially away from their kids way too long while their kids were at home. Now the kids have moved on from home and they have no idea who they need to be. Now, an immediate problem that could kick this is the kids decide to relocate to ABC location and put down roots. Dang. Your 20, 30 something year old kids are living 1,000 miles away. You live in a big house that they're not coming back to. You might want to spend more time over there. Well, what do I need to do to go spend more time over there? Dang, I got to sell this monster of a house that's holding me down. So the immediate issue is, where are my kids going to plant their stake in the ground for the next decade? Until that gets resolved, I'm not selling this house because they might want to come back. We all know they're not coming back.
Yeah.
But because I don't know where they're going to be,
yeah,
they might be coming back, but they're not coming back. You see why you need to be in this conversation before they're looking to sell. What agents then do is they wait till that person's ready to sell, who then does what I call late night Merlot-induced Zillow porning, and they're looking around on the internet about where they'd want to be instead. They click a load of buttons all over the place by accident. Their Google history then fills in contact forms, their phone number, their email address, etc. And agents think that this is now a lead of somebody who wants to sell their house. That lead gets presented to about 150 different agents. This poor homeowner now gets bombarded with calls from people that all say the same thing.
Yeah.
Overwhelm now stops them actually selling their house. Now they're confused because one dude says it's worth 2.7, somebody else says it's worth 3.5. Somebody says they need to fix it up before they move. Somebody says you can sell it as is. Somebody says I've got a cash buy this afternoon. Somebody says, wait till spring. Instead, if you're in the conversation early enough and you're the only voice in the conversation, you can guide. This is the job of modern agents. And most people, they just don't have either the skill set, they don't have the professional gravitas to get inside of those conversations. They can't truly be helpful. And I'll give a scenario outside of real estate that we can all relate to. You ever walked into like a Lowe's or a Home Depot?
Yes.
Greeted by somebody at the door that asks the question. They ask you a question like, are you looking for anything specific today, or how can I help?
Mm-hmm.
And not, you say, I'm good, just looking. You're not just looking. You don't go to Home Depot to just be looking. Like, you had a very specific mission that you're on at that period of time. You have no idea how to complete that mission all by yourself, but still we brush off the person that offered to be helpful to us because we didn't believe that they could help, or we didn't know our problem well enough to be able to ask for the help we needed. So we said, to save embarrassment, I'm just looking. And then what happens when you're just looking, you realize that the dude over there that's been there for more than a minute actually has got half an idea what they're doing, who asks you a slightly better question and maybe says like, so what are you doing at your place then? And you're like, I got a leak in the sink and I didn't want to call a plumber out, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos. I just need to find the right connecting part. Where is it? What sink is it? Well, before you know it, you're walking out with $57 worth of stuff because the dude was helpful. But the dude was brave enough to go into the conversation with you to understand the problem, not ask you, what are you looking for? Once he understood the problem, he could be helpful. We think it's about touch points and drip campaigns. We're eroding value in many of our relationships.
Nick, you're muted, buddy.
Oh man, I was muted. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Nick was getting antsy there as well.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I'm like, okay, so I love that that story because as agents, we can learn from this. Like, hey guys, just checking in, or you know what I mean? It's like just checking in, or I'm just calling to see if, like,
but leaders are the problem here, and leadership in general is the problem because we give bad advice. We say, just call your people, just like, you need to touch them X number of times, just wait for them to pick up on the phone and see what comes out of your mouth. Like, you got to make 100 dials, you got to make 10 touch points. We think it's about volume, and volume will work this much. Yet we're entering into a world where we require obnoxious levels of conversion. There aren't more opportunities. This is what I mean again about there being a skills gap. Is we're bruising opportunities with lazy conversation. Team leaders are saying, call your people. People are doing what they're told, and they are not being valuable. And then they're saying things like, if there's ever anything I can do to help, then I'm here for.
And first of all, that's making it about themselves. I'm calling to see if you need any real estate assistance, as opposed to adding value to the conversation, or
can't call anybody and offer something of value that you don't know is valuable. And you can't call anybody and ask them to tell you what is valuable. If you've ever gone through a moment of grief in your life, maybe you've lost somebody, you've got a health scare, or you've got an issue inside your world that is a big deal, there are two types of people that reach out. One is people that show up with a desire to be caring, and they say things like, if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask. And they mean well. But how helpful is that when you're going through a moment of grief? It's the opposite of helpful.
Yeah.
You're like, in my time of need, you're showing up and asking me to tell you how you can help me so you can feel better about yourself. Gotcha. And then there are other people that know you well enough that just help. They don't offer help. They know what help looks like, and they help.
True.
They're like aware that you're going to be slammed with stuff for the kids, and they say, don't worry, I'm going to pick the kids up from soccer. You don't need to go this week. Like, I'm going anyway. I'll take care of Jimmy. Listen, I know that it's important to put a home cooked meal down for the family every Thursday and Friday evening. Like, I'm making one anyway. I'll just make twice as much. I'll drop it in a Tupperware, right? They just take care of something that they know that needs to be taken care of. And you say that was so helpful. If you do not know what help looks like, you're not useful. All of these touch points that agents are doing to potential and past clients are eroding inbox equity. They're eroding value inside the relationship, because every time you put a deposit into that relationship that isn't valuable to the other person, you're training them that you're not useful.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be way more useful, which means you've got to stay in the journey. I give one simple example. Is most people make a song and dance about closing day with their client, right? Closing table, everything's awesome. I know that you're slammed with everything, but on this day where you're massively overwhelmed and you're experiencing buyer's remorse at the greatest point in time at any other point inside the transaction, on this day when you're nervous, apprehensive, and overloaded with tasks, can you also please write me a review and introduce me to 5 of your friends? Oh, and while we're here, I know that you're not ready to unbox anything, but here's a chopping board with my logo on it.
That's funny.
Right?
And true.
Hey, my chopping boards are really nice.
But when does the chopping board show up? I'm not saying the chopping board's not a good idea.
I don't even have chopping boards. So.
Why don't we show up at the point in time inside that customer relationship where the house has the chance to deliver upon the promise of why somebody bought that house? Closing day sucks. But there's a point in time that if they bought that house because they wanted more space in the backyard for the kids to be able to play, when we get to summertime, why are you not speaking to them in August when they've just had June and July saying, how did this summer compare to last with the kiddos? Why are we not showing up in summer knowing that they got a pool for the first time that they've always wanted for a decade, saying, here's some pool noodles.
Yeah.
Here's some gifts for the kids. Here's some water pistols to be able to enjoy the pool on us. I know how important it was for you to be able to get this ready. Kudos. Hope this summer delivers on everything that you were hoping for. But we don't. We believe everybody's the same. We wonder why they think we're all the same. So I'm getting mad at this on purpose, because the ones that win will remember that you're not in the property business, you're in the people business. Helping people make complex, emotionally charged decisions. And if you want to retain that customer for life, it cannot be about your skill as a real estate agent. It needs to be about your skill as a people manager, helping them navigate whatever obstacles are showing up inside their life, which means you cannot be a problem solver. You have to be a problem seeker. Look what happens. Instead of you saying, like, if you need any introductions or relationships towards any other vendors, then I'm here for you. It's like kind of helpful. If you're like, hey, now that you've moved in and this is your house and you've got a bigger house than you've ever had before, and for the first time in your life, you've got, a well, and you've got a generator, and you've got a this and that and the other. You've never used these things before. I got a buddy that's a local handyman that knows this neighborhood better than anyone else. He's going to come around and see a point to suit you in the next 10 days and just show you how all this stuff works now that it's yours and not somebody else's. You'd be like, that's freaking useful. I didn't even know I needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I think the thing that we have a challenge with, Phil, is getting clarity on what helpful looks like, and then repeatedly doing that, because we're so trained to do the opposite of helpful. We're just going at this
value as well. Like, I say, what's your value prop? And agents just show up and throw up a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Not necessarily valuable. Your value is only valuable where it's both appreciated and it's appreciating. Depends on circumstances. Like, nobody on this call right now would like to buy a pink inflatable, sparkly, glitter dinghy that is inflatable, that is secondhand, that was used for something peculiar in the past, particularly if I put a $2,000 price point on it. Nobody wants that thing.
True.
But if you're out in the ocean with your kids and the boat that you're on is sinking and you'd like to get to shore, and the only way you can get there is on an inflatable dinghy, would you buy this one off me for $2,000? Do you care if it's available in other colors? Do you have any worry about like what it was used for in the past? Who would you fight for it? Like you do all of it. Instead, what happens, we have people that are drowning and we say, swimming lessons? Would you like to buy my swimming lessons? Hey, you'd look great in this bathing suit, by the way. Like we got it in 3 colors. I'm freaking drowning.
Oh my gosh,
that's funny. Or just checking in.
Yeah.
Let me know if I can do anything.
Hey, are you drowning?
Day, and remember, like to get somebody to answer this thing, is a big deal. Just to actually pick up.
Oh, 100%. Nobody answers their phone these days.
And then I find out that you interrupted my day for nothing.
Then you're never going to get them to answer when they see your name pop up. They're going to be like, oh, it's Tristan again, just checking in.
Phil,
we have events, right? I wanted to call just to invite you to an event that I'm doing, etc. Why not just be like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday?
Yeah.
Why? What have you got in mind? Well, are you free or not? No, I can be free. Well, great. You and the kids should come to an event that I'm running. Like we qualify it first. Instead, we show up and throw up and tell people all about the great event we're running.
I love that approach.
All right, Phil, let's dig in on that because I don't remember if it was the last time we talked or the previous time. We asked you about the title of your book, which is exactly what to say. And you said, Tristan, if I could choose a second title, it would be exactly what to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Dig in on that, man.
I mean, you know as well as I do that if you do not ask, you do not get.
Yeah.
And your success is in direct correlation to the quantity of quality asks that you make in your life. Our goal is to be able to ask for what it is that we're looking for. Now, many agents right now know that they need more online reviews, and they're wishing, waiting, hoping, and praying.
There you go.
Many of them are not asking.
Because that's a very good example because, agents, for some reason, they're so afraid to ask for a testimonial. They don't know how to do it.
Well, it's worse than that. They don't know when to do it. And this is the mistake again for many. Is we're so focused.
Are you guys there?
Still here.
I cut out for a second.
Tech snafu.
Okay, because my internet got a little fuzzy there for a second. They don't know how to do it. They don't want to sound desperate. But
it's a when problem.
Right, exactly.
And this is the miss that happens is the conversational architecture that needs to exist in order to get results is not trained inside the real estate industry. And like everybody thinks it's about scripts. If it was just about scripts, we wouldn't need movie stars, right? Like we need movie stars. The script is not what's required. And not only that is we teach agents scripts and then they go out in the world and then the other person didn't learn their lines. So it doesn't play out right in the real world. There's no architecture. There's no choreography, right? If 2 people are going to dance, 2 people have got to know the dance steps.
Yeah.
And in every form of communication, every conversational piece, and I'll see if this works on my end as well. Let me see if my screen splits real quick. Did my screen just split in half? Yes, it did.
Yes.
Is all that's required to be more successful in any given conversation is to consider these 3 things. 1 is moment, 2 is modality, and then 3 is message. As an industry, we obsess over message. Like, here's what to say, here's what to say, here's what to say. And what ends up happening is they say somewhere like the wrong thing, using the wrong modality at completely the wrong moment. Have you ever done this?
Oh,
maybe in your personal.
I've screwed that up many times.
Somebody else's attention. You're like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a text message right now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a text message and I'm going to send it now. Crap. That was the wrong thing to do. I should have waited till I got home. And I should have waited until we were sat at the dinner table. This probably should have been a face-to-face conversation. And my message could have been half as good and it would have been twice as effective. And we have things and change that we want to create inside like our kids' lives as parents. And what we do is we we wait till the end of their busy school day when they're exhausted. They're in their bedroom trying to catch up with their friends. Choose that this is a spoken conversation, but we don't get side by side. We shout at them up the stairs and we bark an order at them. And wonder what work.
We shout at them up the stairs. I love that.
Right.
Hey, have you been spying on my family in my house? Because that happens every day.
But it happens everywhere, which is why I'm calling it out. If you look at the same thing, like if you wanted to create a change inside a relationship with a teenager inside your life, when's the moment? Well, it probably is when I have their full attention. When do I have their attention? Like never. Oh, when do I have them captive? In the car. When they're in the passenger seat in the car and it's just the two of us, they cannot bail. They cannot leave. I got them for 11 minutes between here and there. There's the moment. What's the modality? Oh, this is a spoken conversation, but it doesn't feel so threatening. It's not head on head. We're side by side. We're in the car. I'm asking them to change. Oh, dang, we're moving. How much more likely are you to accept a change whilst you're changing? What's the message? Well, it probably isn't a tell. It's probably an ask. Hey, bud, look, I know that this whole college application thing's a little overwhelming and that you're not so sure where you want to go. Like, what are you thinking that you really want to do? What are some of your conversations playing out like with your buddies when you're at school? It's just to do. That's the message. Instead, we say, yo, you got 4 weeks before you need to make your mind up. You've got to make a decision to either get in. And we're doing this as they're walking out the door, trying to be able to hang out with their mates on a Saturday.
Oh, man, I'm doing parenthood all wrong.
We're doing communication all wrong because we start with the message, we disrespect the modality, and we don't focus on the moment. It's ready, aim, fire on purpose, right? Instead, the way we communicate is we fire. Oh, crap, I was aiming in the wrong direction. Dang, I wasn't even ready. And we wonder why we miss. And in the real estate industry, we keep saying, pick up the phone, pick up the phone, pick up the phone, call people, call people, call people. And then we forget it's 2026.
Yeah.
You cannot call me on the phone, period.
Nope.
It doesn't ring. Text me first.
Yep.
Or DM me if I'm on social all day.
And people are like, you have to meet in person to do a deal. Like I did a $2 million transaction via Instagram DM.
My voicemail says, text me, basically, in so many words.
A voicemail.
You what? You haven't set your voicemail up?
You can't leave a message.
Yeah, me either. Phil, I have a question on that specifically because I want your understanding for our audience here. When it comes to you saying I did a transaction, a $2 million transaction through Instagram DM, I feel comfortable 100% doing that. I actually hate leaving my house. I won't see the property. I'll freaking buy anything. I don't need to walk in it, right? But that's me. You're also going to have a lot of other people say, but I need to meet my client for coffee. We need to do a presentation. I need to walk through. I need to make sure they're serious. I need to make sure they're pre-approved. And then we can go see homes.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that?
Everyone's entitled to their own way of doing business on both sides of that. You can have your way that makes you feel comfortable, and they can have their way that makes them feel comfortable. But if you don't meet people where they're at, then they're not your people. You don't get to play in that game. Similarly, if you've got a way of doing business that doesn't line up to other people's way of doing business, you're well within your rights to say that's not how we work. And this is going to be more and more important for real estate professionals, is to make a decision to say, this is the sandbox that I play in. This is our recipe for success. This is how we work. And if you like that stuff, we're the best in the world. But you want me to step outside of that lane? That's not us. And the best restaurants in the world do this.
Mm-hmm.
Walk into the best restaurant in the world and be like, hey, look, I fancy a cheese and ham sandwich toasty today. Like, can you knock that up for me? I know you've got the ingredients out back. I mean, they have the skill to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's not beyond their capabilities of being able to make that real, but that's not the business they're in. So you get to decide how you do business. But if you decide how you do business is not the way that the people that you want to work with do business, do business with those people.
I love that.
And everything about winning in real estate today is, I mean, you live in a commoditized industry, right? And everybody's trying to differentiate on what they do differently. The what is about the same. You can differentiate on how you do it. You can differentiate on why. You can differentiate on where. You can even differentiate on when. But what is almost impossible to differentiate on. Like the sameness is like, yeah, you're like, yeah, but we got a 23-point like marketing plan, and the other dude's like, we got a 25-point marketing plan.
This is true.
Why, where you specialize, when they get to be able to achieve the outcomes that we've been talking about. And then most importantly, who? Specialize in who, not what. One of the most important exercises every real estate agent should be able to do on repeat is to on repeat be able to answer people, problem, payoff. Who are the people? What is the problem? What is the payoff? So you can make a quantity of statements of, I help X, which are the people, achieve Y, which are the problem, so that they can pay off.
Dude, that sounds like the groundwork for creating a more solidified brand for real estate agents.
And not, we got a proven track record and just sold this and made GCI of blank and I'm $100 gazillion producer. Is I help first-time buyers navigate the fears of rent versus buy so that they can protect their long-term financial future. I help busy families find their next home so that they can concentrate on the more important in life. I help relocating professionals understand the pros and cons of the key areas in ABC location so that they can move with ease. I'm making this crap up on the spot. But people are like, oh, I've been doing this for 25 years and blah, 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 blah. Don't care.
I mean, dude, the first thing that comes to mind, and I may offend somebody here, but Nick knows that I love to offend people. I would even go as far as saying in some of my marketing, we work with people that are not assholes who live in Malibu, that are looking to live on the beach.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting about this? Like, you know, real estate agents are able to decide the type of people they want to do business with. You know, you have to make
people. They have unlimited inventory. You don't. How many families can you help in the next 12 months? It isn't infinite.
Right.
I say, how many leads do you want? They say as many as I can get. I'm like, if I give you 15,000 leads tomorrow, does that help or hurt?
Doesn't help.
It doesn't help, right? And are you going to be able to service all those people at the level that you have built reputation towards, or are you going to damage reputation by trying to help too many people too quickly?
You're going to damage it.
But take, for example, like your Malibu piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I help normal people live exceptional lives. Living in Malibu so that what they can do is have all of the beauty and none of the bullshit.
That's your new tagline, Tristan.
I like it. It's recorded so I can just have AI extract it.
You get to be able to play, right? And half of this of like, when people say, who are you for? and that's hard to answer, is easier answered when I say, well, who are you not for? Who do you definitely not want to do business with?
That's easier to answer for me. Like, who do you not want to work with? I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be exceptional, you have to have exceptions. You have to say not that. And also remember, your scraps are somebody else's dream clients. So if you're serving your scraps badly, you're stealing from the industry at large because you're providing a less than service to the other people that actually are just as entitled to have an exceptional level of agent. But when you get a referral through from somebody who is looking for a short-term rental in Sherman Oaks, you're like, not my people.
No.
It's an agent that is desperately looking for more of those kind of inquiries. So if you serve that badly, you just stole from your industry at large. And I'll say the same is true in my industry from an author and a professional speaker point of view, right? Is if I say, like, this is the sandbox I want to play in, and then I get a gig that would have been a good gig for me 15 years ago come land in my inbox, and I do it, and I do it for less than where my fees are at, or I do it as a subpar favor to try and help a past client out, but I don't love it like I should love it, then I do two things. I underserve my client, and I underserve the industry as a whole. Because what I do is I go deliver like a 75 grand speech for a $7,500 gig.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I just train that client to think they get $7,500? I just ruined it for every $7,500 speaker on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? Because I educated the industry that they get more. We have to like stay in our lane and then excel in our lanes and enjoy the fact there are other people that are equally brilliant in their lane and refer out. But most agents, they don't have that amount of abundance. They are too fearful of the fact that they need to have all of it, that they hang on to not enough when they could have just crushed it. And I give one thing that blows my mind here. I don't get to say on a podcast too often. So many agents say that they want to be like the dream listing agent in their neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And then I say, well, like, are there homes, specific homes in your neighborhood that you'd love to be able to sell someday? And they're like, yeah. And they can list them all. They can tell me all about them. I say, who owns those homes? And they say they don't know. I'm like, are you like kidding? Is they're looking to win a listing and they don't even know who the person is that owns it. And I know for sure I could go into that neighborhood, I could find out who owns that home, and with a little bit of due diligence, if I play a 30, 60, 90 month mindset, I could serendipitously bump into the owner of that home at the golf club that they go to every Thursday at 4, and I could be side by side with them in the coffee line, and I could make 2 minutes of small talk. And at some point, he or she is going to say, so what do you do? And you're like, well, funny you asked.
Dude, that happens all the time. It just has to be structured in the right moment.
And you can make your own luck with this. Many of us have had some of our biggest of breaks when we got lucky from being in the right place at the right time, but you can put yourself in more right places at right times if you're strategic. And winning in this business in the next decade is not going to be front door lead generation. It's side door. It's, I know a guy, I met a guy, I know a girl, because we're not going to be able to trust what comes through our door. We're also going to have privacy and controls over the data that we see and receive and the access points that we have to every communication channel that matters to us that is going to be on our terms. You are not going to be able to get somebody's attention by shouting loudly or banging on the front door in the next decade. You're going to get somebody's attention because somebody you trust is already connected that then says, here's your guy. And you're going to go, okay. Which is how it used to be.
With one twist, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Social media.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to us how you think we need to show up there to be able to attract better.
Stop being a problem solver. Be a problem seeker. Show people you understand the problems that exist in their world and they'll trust you with a solution. Here's what I do not care about. Just sold and just listed. Here's what I do not care about. I don't care about you dancing at your listing. If you are looking to win more effectively on social media without having a bigger reach, do something I've preached for decades, which is be an active listener on social. Like many of you have like pumped people into your CRMs, dripping all over them. You drip all over them to a point that they're soaking wet, but you have no idea what's going on in their life. Why not just take the 100 people that you care about in your world, follow them, and join the conversations with what they're posting about stuff, and watch how much more business you'll generate from doing that, as opposed to saying, look at me, 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 look at me. Hey, this is me. What about me? So be a problem seeker. Also, if you are going to be a content creator, what do you want to own in your content? Well, you want to own the narrative of your town, your village, your locality. So you know, do what Ken Posak does and just be the mayor of your town in your social, but you have to be useful, like legit useful. And I think what I would look at is what is useful to the people that you would like to be able to do more business with. So say, for example, you want more first-time buyers. What do first-time buyers care about? Well, they care about coffee shops and restaurants and bars. They care about potential new amenities that might be growing the value of the neighborhood. They care about school zones, etc., to a point if they're planning to put down some roots. They care about commute time, but there is also a lot of stuff that they don't care about. So get into a very narrow lane that, like, if you want first-time buyers that are busy working professionals, why can't you do the 100? Like let's spend a year and find the best cortado in insert location, and be on a quest to take people with you. You know, as a real estate agent, I get to be able to travel all across the Malibu region, all across the South. The South California area, and one thing that I know people enjoy here more than most is they enjoy a good taco. Now, I get asked all the time what's the best, and I find itself struggling to be able to answer that question. So for the next 12 months, I'm going to do the very best job I can to try as many tacos as possible across the region, and by December 31, I'm going to tell you, in my humble opinion, who's got the best tacos.
I like that, man. I actually I've done that as a test in Malibu, and it gets us millions of views on places to eat. So it's very interesting.
Care about it. Like if you're the taco guy and you enjoy it, like you can't do this if you're like if you're all about something that is is vegan, and like if you can't go to that place and take everybody with you, if it's not true to you, it's not a good strategy. But look at something you care about in your locality that is very you, that you can easily execute upon because of the fact that you're traveling all over town. And now what you're saying is like, here I am at ABC location. I'm looking around. I've got 17 places to choose today. But don't do food if what you're looking to be able to do is to help downsizers that are looking to be able to move out in the area because they're thinking about going into a home. If those are your people, and they've got different problems with different payrolls. So what you do here is you show you the problems. See, one of the biggest reasons that people don't move out of the house that they lived in for 25 years isn't because they don't believe it's worth it, isn't because they don't know where they want to go next, is what do they do with the stuff? The kids have said they don't want it. I have no desire to Facebook Marketplace. I'm 68 years of age, and I'm not looking for a kid to offer me $22 for the hand-carved antique desk that I've written on for 25 years. I don't know what to do with the stuff. So your content is like, help people know what to do with the stuff in estate sales. As a real estate agent, I've helped hundreds of people to be able to navigate what happens when the family home no longer is needed by the family. The 5 big problems that nobody talks about is 1, what do I do with the stuff? 2, when's the right time to be able to time this from a taxation point of view? 3, who else needs to be involved in the decision-making process? 4, how do you communicate this towards the other stakeholders inside the family that matter? 5, right? That's content. Oh, shit, that's helpful. Oh, you know that stuff? You showed me you knew the problem that I didn't even understand myself? Trust.
It's interesting, man. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. And we've pivoted our content so many times. We attract different audiences based on how we're showing up. So I love that.
There's one other thing I do too, is in the decision-making process, there are 3 questions that every human being asks on repeat that will help them make a decision with more conviction. One is, have you done this before? Have you done it for someone like me? And have you done it recently? Have you done this before? Have you done it for someone like me? Have you done it recently? If you can be heck yes, heck yes, heck yes, how much easier is it to pick you? So what am I doing now? I'm doing that on repeat. Show people you've done this before. Show people you've done it recently. Show people that you've done it for people like them.
Dude, you just gave us the message right after the hook on a YouTube video. Yeah. Here's the problem. And then you go through those 3 things and then you start the YouTube video. That's so funny. That's exactly it.
But you also build proof points that support conversion. Everybody is building content for attraction, and you think that that's enough. You need content for conversion. Mm-hmm. Like I have content lives inside my website that is case studies of past clients that I work with. You cannot find it. It's hard to be able to discover by accident. But I have like hidden deep in my website, exactly what to say for automotive. And then if my team get a lead or inquiry is like, hey, does Phil's work in the automotive industry? I'm like, we can obviously say yes. So we can say like, here's what we did for Volkswagen. And have an audio podcast testimonial between a host that I hired who interviewed the exec at Volkswagen that hired me about the results we achieved. Here's the photos. Here's all the social proof from that one event. Here's what the objective was. Here's the outcome. Here's video examples of that one event. In a 50-50, what did I do just to increase the odds of this landing my side of the line?
Dude, a lot.
One, right, is if I'm the estate sale expert and somebody's like, well, why should I choose you? You say, well, let me just share a little something with you. Is, you say that you have complexities about like other family members that live out of state and from a distance, and you're nervous about what that could look like. Well, let me tell you the story about the Eisenbergs. And you got it all documented and lives on a page in your website. And you're like, there you go. And the video has been viewed by 11 people. And it's on Vimeo. It's not on YouTube.
That's even better.
Right? And that helps you convert 2 multi-million-dollar listings. Yeah. Never hit social. Helpful? That's the content we want. And also, like, people chase testimonials and Zillow reviews, and like, why not like have a selfie with every client that you've ever worked with and have that run through your website? Instead, we make everything look polished, and we make everything look like AI could have created it. I have a simple rule, is it didn't happen unless you've got a photograph to prove it. And then that photograph is not in your Google Drive or your Dropbox. It's somewhere visible. And the easiest fix here is go look at your websites. If I see another real estate agent website that has cookie cutter, like you say you're in Michigan, right?
Yep.
I found a website from a real estate agent in Michigan that one of the photos that was to support move-up buyers or downselling buyers was an elderly couple in their 60s walking hand in hand on the beach. Where's the beach in Detroit?
Well, there's lakes.
They don't look like massive oceans and
right. There's no oceans, right?
Right. And we have no real estate agent of any sort should have any stock photography in there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And when you say things like we have a meticulous attention to detail and the way we do things is different, where's your proof points? Where's the testimonial that isn't help me find my dream house? Where's the testimonial about your transaction coordinator? Where's the testimonial about I was scared about blank and what I was fearful of was blank, blank, and blank. And it wasn't until I met blank, blank, and blank, it gave me the confidence to be able to do blank, blank, and blank. You take every objection, every point of friction you get in your sales process where people say, why you? You go, here's why, evidence.
Here's why, evidence. It's too easy, Phil.
It just requires work.
Yeah.
And you can't provide the evidence if you haven't done the work. But if you're good enough, prove it. If you've got differentiators, prove it. Even like, where are your testimonials from the vendors that you work with? You got lawn care people and handyman people and construction people, etc. And you're in a 50-50 and there's some like 6-month licensed agent over here that says, I too can do all of this stuff. And then you've got like a testimonial from the most trusted GC in the neighborhood that's like, if I was to sell my house, I'd do it with Tristan. And here's why.
It's recorded, dude.
Mm-hmm. I think what you're hearing from me is stop looking for the hack and just get better.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pro sport now. And then don't look to win more business. Be so good that you put all the other people out of business. And there are too many people in the real estate industry that are picking up 6% for doing close to sod all. Because you're letting them. Be so good that they cannot compete and have those people that are lazy and licensed that do 1 to 2 transactions a year that negatively impact the profession at large. Be so good that they can no longer pick up 1, 2, 3 transactions a year and be lazy. Have them go learn about drop shipping instead. Have them go think they can have a side hustle driving Uber. I don't care what it is, but have them like decide that there's no easy money in real estate because the bar you set is too high for them to be able to compete.
Dude, I love that. All right. Are you working on a new book?
Why?
Well, I just want to know to get people excited, or they pick up your old book.
I mean, I'm still doing interviews today about the brand new book I wrote in 2017 called Exactly What to Say.
I love that.
I've written 11 books.
That's so great, dude. I love that.
Who knows me for exactly what to say. I mean, I wrote all these books here. These are some of our foreign translations. And here's the puzzle. Is Exactly What to Say is about to hit its 10-year birthday. And I've been preaching this work since way before that. This has been my life's work since 2008. And still people aren't getting it. I'm not giving up on my greatest hits. I'm not trying to write a new album. I'm like, understand the method of the music before you start to move on to something else. And I'm trying to be an example to every industry that I serve. Like, stop looking for new and shiny. Commit to the bit. And I've been so blessed with the body of work we've built around Exactly What to Say. We've sold nearly 3 million copies. It's changed mine and my family's lives. Like, we've impacted millions of people around the world. And therefore, the market knows me as the Exactly What to Say guy. Perfect. I'm super okay if my tombstone reads like loving husband, proud father, creator of Exactly What to Say. I'm good.
Well, that's because it's a powerful message, man.
And we're not done. Still a long way to go.
I love that.
And I just told you a load of strategies from this book. There's a book called Prove It.
That's the one you had me read after our last conversation. You're like, read that one. I'm like, okay.
I wrote the worst selling sales book on the planet. On purpose.
The work before the work. Oh.
Nobody wants to do any of the work, let alone the work before the work.
Put that away, Phil. Nobody wants that shit.
This is a book on how to beat everybody else before they even show up. This is a guaranteed playbook about sales preparation that would have you outperforming any other performer before that performer even starts the day. Yet nobody wants to read it. Nobody cares because they want the hack. Like in every pro sport, winning is often done before other people get to the start line. Yet in real estate, we're still chasing the hack. And I get mad at this because we put programs together and we help people do it right. And people are like, yeah, but over here they're promising me the shortcut for $1 gazillion.
Always.
So yeah, I'm anti hope dealers. I want to put the hope dealers out of business. That's my mission.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. This has been so much fun. I learned a lot just listening.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thanks for being on, Phil. We appreciate you being here. Hope everyone in the chat appreciated it as well. This has been another episode of the Lab Coat Agents podcast. Go get the book, exactly what to say, if you don't have it. Your website, I'm assuming, is philmjones.com.
Yeah, and come say hi on Instagram. Like, you can learn more about what we have going on over there. So at Phil M. Jones UK is the platform I'm most active personally. If you've heard us here on Lab Coats, just come stop by, say hi, give us a follow. I may have some little treats and bonuses that we can point you at if you're looking for where to go next. And
don't pick up the book, The Work Before the Work. Remember that.
Whatever you do, don't buy that one.
Don't pick that one up.
It's just a badly selling book on purpose, which I love the irony.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Phil.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
See you guys.